green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
We've lost more than half of the mangrove forests in the country. For our coral reefs, less than 4% remain in excellent condition. 800,000 hectares na lang of virgin forests remain. One could say that the Philippine environment is in a critical state. No? I think we saw that in the recent calamities sa Ondoy and Pepeng.
I am a cancer specialist. All of us have the cancer gene. Well, probably in our lifetime, some of us, or most of us, would just pass on from this world without having the disease. But the oncogene is just there, the pro-oncogene. Be cautious of the things that you apply to your body. The first time I heard about human nature, I heard it from my niece. We use it in the family. So we found out, well, they're very good and they're cheap too, affordable. So that we began giving this even to our family, the household. And they began raving about it because that we can afford it. And I do give this a lot to my patient as a part of the treatment planning guidelines. The other day, a patient came in. When she opened her hands, she said, "Doctor, look at my hands." I say, "Oh my God, your hands are even finer and prettier than mine." And she said, "Because I have been using the hand and foot salve."
I've been in the Philippines since 2003, and during all of that time, I've been a volunteer for Gawad Kalinga, helping to build up Gawad Kalinga as a movement around the world. When Anna, my wife, and I were in the US in 2008, we noticed that natural and organic products are very popular already in the USA. And so Anna, my wife, came up with the idea of starting Human Nature when we got back to the Philippines.
At that time, there were a lot of natural and organic products in the market already, but they were all very, very expensive.
We really want to provide like a very environmentally sound and environmentally clean line for them and for the rest of the people, because we all deserve to use the highest quality of products at the lowest price.
The Human Nature name actually came from Camille's. It captured what we wanted to do, like people loving the environment, and then the environment also providing us with the benefits of a safer, better, more nourishing alternative to the man-made things that we've slathered on our bodies. So another dimension to that was also people being part of nature and not just promoting the environment as a standalone. So that was the beginnings of our philosophy, which came out to be being pro-Philippines, pro-poor, and pro-environment.
And then we realized that many of the ingredients for these products, in fact all of the ingredients, can be grown right here in the Philippines. When I started to think about all of this, Human Nature started to make sense as a way for the Philippines to come out of poverty. And so we made a decision that every single product that we will produce will be 100% made in the Philippines. This is our home, and it deserves our attention, it deserves our care. And so 100% made in the Philippines is very important to us.
We wanted to source all our, at least most of our raw materials locally. We want to create products that use these local ingredients.
Another pillar of our philosophy is that we are pro-poor. That means that we prioritize buying ingredients from poor communities, and we really help them to improve their quality control, improve their processing. How can we bring all of these communities out of poverty? What are the things that we can grow here in the Philippines that will give them that first world quality of life? If you're a rice farmer in the Philippines, you know that you're going to be poor for the rest of your life. A rice farmer will earn maybe 50 or 60,000 pesos per hectare from rice. But if they can grow lemongrass, they can earn 20 times as much.
We really want to pay them a living wage, something that will allow them to have to feed their families, to send their kids to school.
The third pillar of human nature is that we are pro-environment. So we don't want to use or allow the use of any dangerous chemicals in the growing of our ingredients or the processing of our ingredients, and anything that we produce must be biodegradable, and it must be at least 95% natural. Many of our products are actually 100% natural, and we'll only use something that's not natural if there's really no natural alternative. But whatever we use has to be safe.
What we've tried to do from the beginning really was to come up with a new way of doing business. Getting into a social enterprise, you still earn money, it's still sustainable, but rather than, for example, making the biggest profit from it, you might not make as much, but then the benefits to the people that you employ, the benefits to that supplier, to your customers are a lot more than if you just pinched every penny to make sure that all the money goes to the companies.
So we have also human nature that is starting to become a model for a Philippine social enterprise that will also improve the quality of life of the poor, starting in Gawad Kalinga communities or in farming communities that will grow their ingredients. This is the collaboration between Gawad Kalinga and human nature, that will be part of our vision of what we call Bayanihan economics, the economics of sharing, where the enlightened capitalism, where people will create wealth for the good of many. Where the rich and poor are partners in development, a business model that does not see the poor purely as labor. So the goal is to really create abundance for an entire community, and abundance for an entire nation. This is the goal of Gawad Kalinga. This is the goal also of human nature.
For the project, the lemongrass oil production project here, the main livelihood of the people here is by planting corn, some sugarcane, but due to very high farm inputs, they tend to stop their production. People migrate in the city. The life here is so miserable that the parents cannot afford to send children in school. So it's very good that human nature is here to buy the products so that the livelihood will be steady or ongoing. Now they have the regular income to provide foods for the family, to send children in school, have a decent home. There is what we call the return of the community spirit. The family now is intact.
They were able to expand their farm lots. They were able to have the extension in their house. They were able to send their children to school, and they have more time doing school activities and even church activities in their communities.
Where will I start in praising this company? This company can uplift our standing as Filipinos, can improve our lives, can do a lot for us.
My ancestors are not rich, and many of them were domestic helpers, factory workers, but 100 years ago, one man in my town called Bradford made a decision to change the quality of life for people there. He built a new factory, houses for his employees. It was the first time they had running water, toilets, libraries. He built schools, and this entire town totally transformed because of this one man who made a decision to care for the poor in my town. I was able to have every opportunity of being born in a first world country because of people like him. And that's why I feel very excited, and I see it as my duty, my responsibility to do whatever I can to help the same thing happen here in the Philippines. I married a Filipina, and when you marry a Filipina, you marry the whole country, diba? And so I owe it to this country to do whatever I can, not to take my beautiful Filipino wife out back to England, but to raise my children here, to raise them to love this country, to be proud of this country, and see what a beautiful country we can create.